Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd show you another update on this Star Citizen build here, and it is coming along. I didn't do too much more with the body since I showed it last. I did make a modification to the rear landing gear setup here. I changed this around so it's got double set of landing gear back here. It looks beefier when it's sitting on the ground. I'm up in space, so I can show the interior a little bit better right now with the lighting. But so I did change that around. I think I did a couple other little tweaks in places and some more texture cleanups and stuff like that. But then I started in on the interior of the ship, and I'm very far from being complete with it yet. But kind of see the looks on the general styling that I'm trying to do, trying to keep it clean. I did look at there were, in comments there was a suggestion to look at a person's video who he toured the Hercules and looked at the outside and the inside of it, and I am having that as reference. But man, I tell you what, I mean, it's very detailed, and I feel like I'm a little off with what I've got going on here yet. I'm trying to get some of the coloring in place and some of the design cues, but I don't know. For the most part, it kind of looks like a human build, or like some of the other builds that I've done in the past to some extent. But I'm trying to be really neat and fancy with it. There's a lot of things to work around though that are causing me some problems, like these retractable turrets. That this is actually a retractable turret. That's why I can't paint it the same as the rest of the hangar floor, but I don't mind the white stripes or the gray stripes in here. I'm experimenting with an LCD to try to make some lines and stuff, and I might try to expand this out in other parts of the ship too, to actually try to make some LCDs to go around floor pathways and maybe some walls. We'll see how that comes out, but this was kind of an experiment to it's like I can't put decals or anything over this area here, so I'm trying to do something with this. So, but anyway, as in what's going on in the hangar so far, it does have 4 advanced constructors, has 4 320k storage bays, so there's 2 per side. It is very symmetrical in here right now, and likely a lot of areas of the ship are probably going to be pretty symmetrical. Maybe in the front area of the ship where I do get into some crew areas and stuff like that, I'll probably go asymmetrical for those. But I keep on running into little disasters too. Like here's another retractable turret that I couldn't match very well. I could get by with this texture on the other side of the turret, so I had to do this area like this way. When I was trying to do try to put in some of this red highlight stuff, which you see in the Hercules in a lot of places. I thought I was like going all cool with my formation, like, yeah, that's going to look really good. And then all of a sudden I get to the corner here, and this is a structural frame block on the outside, and I can't paint it differently from the inside. And there you go again. So another like breakdown on what I wanted to, how I wanted to texture it versus how I can texture it are 2 different things there. So it also has, so basically you got the 4 320s. Over here is another one, and you got a 640 per side on both sides of the hangar. I may add a couple more 320s into the build yet, but I gotta watch it. I don't want to like overdo it because it can have 10 large lift thrusters on here, and I just got to make sure it can deal with that amount of weight. I don't know how much more storage I should really try to put in the ship before it's like, oh, would it be able to get off the ground, kind of thing. If you had it all loaded up, it's one of those things. Originally too, I was thinking it was going to have a central elevator, and then I was like, well, that can't happen because I've got a hangar door right in the front there. So it's got basically dual elevators on either side of the hangar that go up. Up here, I'm pretty committed now. This is going to be another 5th landing pad here, or for whatever can fit through this kind of framework that I was building out here. And I can say a MX6 fits. Is the only ship I tested it with, but your regular size SVs can fit through here. This is still a 7 block wide opening, and I did have to make the ceiling taller in this part of the ship as well, too, so you could fly up and land on this particular landing pad. And I may extend this framework or change how it's working right now to kind of go right across and kind of look kind of neat on the inside, hopefully. And then I started working on some other things here, the engineering area. Now this goes right off the elevator, so I'm trying to. The Hercules has a lot of roundish hallways and things like that. I'm trying to do some of that when I can. I don't have much in hallways in the ship right now to really do that with, but this is going to go into the engineering section, and this is largely unfinished. I was just doing some early work trying to figure out how I was going to attempt this. So I got a couple medium shield parts chilling out here, and there's I'll have to make it all detailed, and there's going to be stuff going on kind of below them where they sit as well. And then up here, this is where that big 4-pack of thrusters are on each side. I'm trying to build up like a housing around there. 2 of these thrusters aren't going to be in the ship's stock, I'm pretty sure. So I wanted to make sure you could add them easily, hopefully from inside the ship over here, and stuff like that. And then a lot of these weird areas I'm going to try to make fit solar panels one way or another. I'll have to figure that one out yet. But yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on here. But there's a lot of room too, and that's kind of another bonus. As you can see, there's a fusion reactor sitting here. This wasn't part of the original plan, but I was like, I really do have the room for it. And why not? And I even made like a little glass thingy. You can kind of see it through the bottom of the hangar, or the top of the hangar, my fault. And then it would probably also have room for a couple large shield parts, which I also was not planning on putting on here. So in the hangar itself, one thing I didn't cover is that right on the back wall here, you can put in up to 4 medium shield parts. Or, I'm sorry, small shield parts. And then there's a couple more slots over here for more shield parts over here. So all 8 of those small ones can go down in the hangar itself. And then I plan on having it be able to accommodate 8 mediums. I only got 4 placed currently. And then probably 2 large and a fusion reactor. And then a bunch of solar panel upgrades and that kind of thing. Yeah, and I had some ASIM problems or some symmetry problems when I built the whole this out on one side. I had turned off symmetry and forgot about it, and no big deal. No big deal. A little bit more time, I'll tweak out the other side. In the front area of the ship is probably where it's going to contain your crew area, kind of down in this neck area. I'm thinking down here below the bridge, and of course it's still going to have that secure bridge. Again, generally in this location. Then I also plotting out a farm section here, so this is kind of where that's going to be. I believe it could be bigger than it is. Right now it has 54 grow plots in it, which was kind of a nice number for a certain recipe at least. But I'm thinking I got room to add more, but I also got to I want to take all these generators and all this junk out of the front of the ship and move it back over here, but I got to build housings for everything. So I wanted the ship to also be able to handle up to 4 advanced generators in the ship. It'll need 2 stock and then maybe 2 upgrade ones, and then of course the fusion reactor. I got to get the regular shield in here, which may go somewhere back over here as well. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I think I've got some room. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But as in trying to do the interior of the Hercules, oh boy, in CV blocks with all these like limitations, it's rough. So right now, I know if you look at it and you look at some of my past builds, it probably look kind of similar to some of the human builds. It's just I'm trying to do like this red accent in places and stuff like that. I did get a medical bay in here. Now this thing's going to have a whole lot more LCDs. I don't really have LCDs yet except for this experimental prototype one down there. But I'm going to try to cake this thing with a lot of LCDs. I might use other author LCDs in the process as general nice looking tech displays and stuff like that. But yeah, that's all I've really got to show you today. There's a fair amount of time put into what's here already. It's been kind of frustrating as well. Again, with dealing with structural frame blocks on the outer hull and then retractable turrets. just keep on messing up what I was planning to do for the interior. Is like, oh, I can't really do that there because of this or that or the other thing and whatnot. But my end goal is to make this nice and functionable for gameplay over some other stuff. And again, this area here, probably going to sneak in like your crew rooms and stuff down in this general section, secure bridge over here. So everything's kind of plotted out, and I've got room for everything, and I'm not really stressed about space. And then, yeah, a lot of solar panel upgrade rooms too, or rooms to add solar panels to that I'll try to make look pretty in the end. But that is where it's at currently. As in its CPU right now, it's kind of invalid because I've got a lot of stuff that wouldn't be in here. So it's way over on CPU with the fusion reactor and medium shield parts and all that stuff in here. But it should be all right. It should be all right. It's got enough thrust power to be decent. I'm not going to say it's like a spring chicken, but it's it's all right. But just putting the other parts in did slow it down quite a bit. 73 forward right now, 27 on the strafing, 92 lift. So the lift is still pretty good. Now currently I have two 640s and four 320s. I think I could get by with a couple more 320s in the ship as well, and still get off the ground, at least if you upgraded the thrusters or basically have the full 10 pack of lift thrusters. It'll come stock with 6 of those, I do believe. I'm going to have to lessen the CPU in certain places when I release the ship too, just to balance everything out. But it's not, I mean, these thrusters aren't huge amounts of CPU, unlike the XL thrusters. I do kind of wish the ship was operating off from XL thrusters, but I really can't pull it off. It would have needed to be just generally bigger yet, and it would be very, very expensive, I think, if it had was running XL thrusters in most of these thruster locations. That would be a big time increase on its CPU usage. And I was trying to keep this as a a kind of a all-arounder ship. It wasn't really intended to be an endgame ship, and it's not built like an endgame ship, but it could put in some endgame parts, especially with a fusion reactor, and probably 2 large shield parts, I think, is the most amount I'm willing to try to fit in here. But I just want to show you where I'm at, and I'll keep on plugging away at this, and hopefully next time, probably like Monday or Tuesday of next week, I'll hopefully get a lot more of the interior done and dialed in better than what it is right now. I just kind of wanted to show you what it's how it's turning out on the inside and how it's going to work out. And yeah, I'm not too concerned though. I think in the end it'll be a nice usable in-game ship, inspired by Star Citizen, but it's not a replica. So we'll just go with that. Someday I may try a replica, but I think if I did try a replica, I'd want to build whatever it is out of or build it into a SV instead of a CV, because the detail that you get, like 4 times the amount of detail you could throw into the interior, would be really beneficial for trying to do any kind of interior of a Star Citizen ship. They're very detailed. I mean, all the models and the ships in the game are, your top-notch stuff, and especially trying to do that with CV blocks. Yeah, you kind of at a, you can't do anything very close to what's going on in those Star Citizen ships. I mean, you can try, and I'm trying, but it's just, I know it's not turning out exactly, yeah, like if you looked at the videos of the Star Citizen ships. But I'll try to pick up some design elements of that. I didn't get into any hallways too much so far, so I do understand, like the hallways are kind of roundish and stuff like that in the Star Citizen ship, and with a lot of LCD displays and maybe some other LCD types of graphics around, I can try to make it sort of feel like that, but yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to show you where I'm at right now. Let me know if you got any comments or suggestions on this. And I do appreciate, like, the heads up on the person that suggested me watching a video by a particular person out there on YouTube that goes through these ships. It's a lot of great reference material. And I'll try to act on it a little bit more, but I guess I've been primarily focused on just trying to get the ship kind of built up on the interior and working and part placements and stuff. And that's why I kind of was started with the hangar on this one. I wanted to get like the bulk of its storage and stuff out of the way. And now I'm working my way up into engineering and farming just to make sure I had all the right locations for everything I wanted to put in the ship. So anyway, that's all I've got for today, and you all have yourself a great day. I'll talk to you later.